Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube. Well, welcome back to the Car Connection Workshop. Do you know what time it is? It's TJ time. That's right, 1997 Jeep Wrangler TJ, saved from the crusher. We are getting so close now to wrap things up. This side of the block, I've got it all cleaned and painted. We're going to install the exhaust manifold. It's cooking at 300 in the oven. So always put exhaust manifolds on hot. Yeah, it's a bit tricky, you're going to see. But what that does is it spreads the cast iron, which is the exhaust manifolds made of, cast iron. When they're cold, they shrink. So what you don't want to do is take a cold manifold, bolt it on a cold block, and when we run this engine in and it's in there, that manifold's now bolted in a cold, contracted position. There's a good chance it will crack. So with headers and with exhaust manifolds, it's a procedure that I was taught in the past by some old fellers. They said never put the manifold on cold, otherwise it'll crack. There's a good chance it will crack. And they're right. It does. And it will. So we're not going to allow that to happen. So it's in the oven cooking. And we'll get Chef Nilo to pull that out for us in a few moments. When I was cleaning and painting this block, you wonder what the tape's for? Well, we don't want anything whatsoever getting into an open motor. So I put the gasket in place there. I just settled that on there. And you'll see I got paper towels in here, little pieces. Do this, folks. But make sure you take all the pieces out. You do not leave one in. I have done that in the past. I didn't see it, so poke your finger in and make sure that you get them all out of there. But the secret here is no dirt getting into your engine, period. Whether it's this is a pre-owned engine, and as I've said in this whole build, make sure you treat this pre-owned engine like a brand new engine, because this has got to last. This isn't a practice. I don't want to do this over again. And same as when I put the engine in the Trans Am, same thing. I go through the whole thing. So all I did here to hold everything into position for me while I was painting is these are the two outside bolts that are going to be my best friend when Chef Nilo brings out the exhaust manifold at 300 degrees. And we got to fit the intake manifold into the center of it. So we have 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 8, and 6, and 7. So we have to get the exhaust manifold in position while it's hot. And I got to get the intake manifold into the center, and then I got to feed the bolts in and snug them down, and then I will torque them to 23 foot-pounds. So you want to make sure everything is ready, because this is a critical part. You don't want intake manifold leak, and you certainly don't want to be dealing with exhaust manifold leaks. So this is how you do it. So we're going to put a little anti-seize. The bolts that are also going in, I put these studs in. They were seized up, so they've been cleaned, and I torqued the studs into the cylinder head. We just put a little anti-seize on there to make it a little more user-friendly as well. And you know, it's all about details, details, details. I put a little anti-seize around there, so it's slides the intake. You'll see how the intake's going to go on. It's kind of weird. I gotta say that. It's not like anything I've really seen before. Like I said, in this whole series, you're getting to learn this as I'm learning it, because I haven't owned a Jeep before. And I'll be honest, even in my own shop, we never had Jeeps come in. We did a lot of other stuff, but we didn't have a lot of Jeeps come in. So this is our intake ports. No, sorry, that's reverse. Intake, and these are our exhaust ports. So we have 4 intake ports, 4 exhaust ports, 4 cylinder. All right, so 4, we're sucking the air and the fuel in right here, and it's fired, and we're blowing the exhaust out right here. So out the tailpipe. So just if we can just maneuver there. Motor mouth going in with the moves. Okay, going this way. How you doing? Thanks for coming. We got the intake manifold right here. Trade back. Yeah, it's a little tight in here, but it won't be as projects get done. So if you didn't watch the video on this, I showed you how to clean and prepare the intake manifold and put the fuel injectors in there with brand new O-rings. You'll remember this sound if you watch the video. Bloop, bloop. So this baby, there's a dowel here and a dowel here. So we got to get this in, and the exhaust manifold goes around it underneath. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I haven't done one of these for a long time, so we'll put this back over here. It's all set, ready to go. Not ready to go. I heard that somewhere. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go see if I can find Chef Nilo and rustle up ourselves a 300-degree Fahrenheit exhaust manifold. So don't go away. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm going to the kitchen. And away we go. All right, Chef Nilo here. We have for you this afternoon a 350-degree medium rare exhaust manifold. We will slice it to your perfection. Maybe. Well, we're going to install this thing. It's a creature. Look at that. It's already got a little flashover rust on it. That's crazy. Okay, so we got to get this in there. And is it hot? I got the glove. Eh? You got to use the glove. All right, hold that for me, would you? You furry varmint. You see how this thing works? The intake has to go in between. Man, it's stinking hot. Don't touch the sides, they say. So we'll get this in place. I need this glove. I'll just snug those 2 bolts up here in a minute. This one likes to go on really good by hand. Yeah, don't touch the manifold. Skin comes off like bark. Ow! But this is how you do it. This is the way it's got to go, folks. If you want to reduce the opportunity for stuff to happen, this is what you got to do. See a lot of guys cut corners and they'll go, "Oh, you don't need to do that." And you know what I say to that, folks? I go, okay. As for me, I don't like exhaust leaks. Okay, so I'm just going to move those. Coming in here, I'm right in behind you, Skippy. We need to get, we need some toolage quick. And we're probably going to need, that. We're going to need that. And we're going to need 9/16. And we're going to need a deep 9/16 as well. Yeah, we'll use that one. That was good. Okay, so what we want right now is I just want to snug those up. Pull that in. I'm just going to snug it up. I'm not going foot-pounds yet. Okay, so then we're going to need to get rid of that. And I can just put my toolage down here. It's okay. That's what trays are good for. We're going to need that with this and with that. Because you'll see in a minute how that intake manifold goes underneath. It kind of nestles right in there. It's crazy, but it's true. Okay, we need intake manifold right now. And this we don't have to heat up, but we do have to get it into position. Get the dowels in there and get that up there. Yeah, it's just kind of hanging. So, Skippy, if you just use your left hand and just support that for me a little bit, just kind of be there. You don't have to lift it, just be there. So I can get a couple of bolts from over here. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And we want to get that one in on this side. And I re-threaded the holes too. I'm good with that. I just run a tap down there, make sure that your bolts are going to go in without aggravation. I prefer to do this. You know, I'm a big air tool and, you know, doing the job faster kind of guy, but there's certain things that, you know what? No. And this is one of them. I'm not going to zap this thing with air tools. No siree. Because you're going to end up with leaks. That's what's going to happen. And you're tightening the bolts way too tight, fellas. I see it all the time on videos. You know, you're using the electric tools and just cranking stuff. Nobody's torquing anything. That's no good. It's no good at all. The whole reason behind torque sequence is so that you're not over torquing stuff. This is where it gets a little tricky because that manifold is piping hot. That bolt was a little heavy there for a minute. Here. Yeah, it's hot. You don't think it's hot? It's hot. So we got to get these. Now, if this manifold wasn't hot, it would be happy camper, but I know I can get this started fairly easy because I ran the thread chaser through there and I could thread the bolts in, so this makes it so much easier. See that? That's what it's all about. Run the thread chaser down there, clean up your threads so that, you know what, when you're torquing it, you're actually torquing it. The bolts are seated. So this is the way I do it. It's the way I've been taught, and you're always welcome to use your own method. But I'll tell you what, I've been over 40 years in the biz, and I've been a car enthusiast since I was 13, and I'm just shy of 100 now, so it's not bad. I think I'm getting it. Because everybody has their own method, but these, you know, learning from the guys, the pioneers, I call them, they have some really good tricks that even in today's world work very well, just like this. How did I learn this? I learned it from the old timers because I'm willing to listen. And they bring some really good stuff to the table. They really do. So you can go at that one this way and crank that in by hand. And then I'll snug them up, and then I will do a final round if I can get the torque wrench in. If not, I know what tight feels like. It's only 23 foot-pounds, so that's not a lot. It's not a lot. So you got to remember that. That one doesn't... it's not cooperating, Skippy. What do we do? Well, this is where we say, well, we should just take a break and think about it. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's going to be all right. So here's where you just get a 9/16 helper and just get your hand underneath like that. Don't touch the sides. This one's giving me a little hassle. I thought I had it threaded in there, so it's not. So here's what you got to do. You got to just take a minute and just back these off just a hair bit. Just back that off a hair bit if you can. If you can't, that's what the wrench is for. Just back that up a hair bit. Don't force the bolt in. I see lots of that going on. Don't force it in. It just means we're just a little bit shifted one way or the other. So once we got, just back them off a little bit. That's probably the one right there that's holding us. Just lift that up. There we go. So that one just needs a little bit rag right there. Make it 2. Just grab this, just lift that, it's going to go right in. See how that changes? Just loosening that off. And what happens generally if you don't heat them up, you have a hard time getting a couple of the bolts started, and that's because the exhaust manifold is shrunk. It's cold. So it's like this. These arms, that's what I call them, like fingers almost, they're in. So when you heat this thing up, they go out and they expand. So then getting the bolts in isn't bad work. So now I'll just reverse what I did quickly. It's still plenty hot. We're not working in 40 degrees, so just snug those till you get the other ones landed in there. That's what you want to do. Just get them landed in. And I'll start with this one and just snug it up just gently, and then I'll go around and do a round. I probably won't be able to get the torque wrench in there, but we will just go side to side, because we got to remember we're bringing the intake manifold into the picture too at this time. So it's seating along with the exhaust manifold. That's the weirdest setup I've seen. These big flat washers, which are factory, grab the intake manifold along with the exhaust manifold and pull it into the gasket. So then you come out, we're going to do this here. And you see that lift? You see that lift right there? Lift, fold, and separate. Not quite. And I'm not going crazy on these yet. We'll come back to the middle. Just a little turn. See if we can get it from here. That one there looks easy, but it's sort of easy. You can get it this way now if you really want to. You get right in there on there. Right in there on there. Just snug that one. You can't get to those without the extension. You can snug that one down. This one you can't. You got to use the flex guy. So that's why I usually, on this one, I've been doing it like this as I've been doing a pre-fit. So again, always take the time to pre-fit what you're working on. So that, you know what, when you get to it, you're not struggling. That's the secret. You're not struggling. So you'll see when we get over to the Corvette that I've already got the intake manifold sitting in there and all the bolts are in it, but the gaskets aren't in yet. I did a pre-fit, and it's a good thing I did because I ran into a couple of problems. So you don't want to be wrestling and wrecking a brand new gasket set, working out issues. And that's what I see happen, and that's where my former instructors would say, always do a pre-fit. Check it. Make sure if there's something that's not right, you can catch it before you're committed. And again, even with cylinder heads, just check. Make sure everything's good before you just launch on it and then go, uh-oh, now I got to take it apart. You don't want to do that. So it can be avoided by just simply do a pre-fit. Take the time to do that pre-fit. Now she's settling in. So I'll just snug it up. Just work my way along. That one's good. I think we're almost there on that. That's good. I like it. And I will retorque one more time. I will go by one more time. That's pretty close to 23 foot-pounds. Isn't a lot, but you won't get in there with a torque wrench. That's a dream. And if you put an extension on, so if I did put a torque wrench on here, you now have to do the math calculation how far you are from the bolt to where your torque wrench goes on, and you have to calculate that in to your foot-pounds, because the longer the extension, the more foot-pounds you're going to need to apply to offset the length of your extensions. And that makes it for a very tricky install. So just getting on these with the air gun or electric, you're crazy, because you can over torque and warp the manifold, or even worse, how about snapping one of the bolts off in the head? No thanks. I'm not signing up for that one. I'm not taking that class. So this is how you do it. You take your time to drop something, and I'm just snugging these up. I'm not leaning on them at all, because 23 foot-pounds is not a lot. I can see the gasket crushing very well, so I'm happy with that. And like I said, I will get back over this again, probably at least one more time. And we're getting close to getting this motor into this Jeep. I can't believe it, but it seems like it's been a while, but we are getting there. We are getting there. A lot of times I'll wrench it because I can feel it. I can feel it very well. So we're getting nice weather here now, so we'll be able to roll the Jeep outside, power wash the frame rails, and spray it up and clean it up, do a nice job. So we got a nice clean engine bay that the engine's going into, and that just makes, you know what, it just makes the project that much cooler. So all this will be cleaned coming up. We're going to roll it outside. I'll bag the transmission, power wash the frame all the way underneath the cab, all the way forward, clean all this, the steering box, steering linkage, and then give it a really good coat of paint, and it'll look fabulous. It's still quite hot, isn't it, Skippy? I think we could probably make a grilled cheese sandwich on there, I'm thinking. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing like a grilled cheese sandwich with onion and bacon. Yeah, so I'll just go one more time. That's good. That's good. This one is really on a tight angle, but I know I can get it. That's good. Pluck that out. You'll poke your eye out. It's not true. I've said it before. You'll poke your eye in before you poke it out. Because, just think about it. You're going to poke your eye out. I never understood that. Okay, so one more time on the ends. Get rid of some tools here. I love my tools. You got to take good care of mine. It was part of my military instructor was none of us went home till the shop was clear. Garbage is put away. All the equipment's put back where it comes from. All your tools are off your bench on side of your toolbox, wiped, clean, and put away. Then we were allowed to leave. We all left together all the time. I thought that was so cool, is we all left together like a family. Nobody got stuck doing something if guy was on a job and you're done, you go over and you work with that fella and get that job done faster, so everybody goes home together. And the intake and the exhaust manifold are going home together. Chef Nilo, good job. The manifold's still piping hot. We're seated. I will check the bolts one more time when it's cold and see if they'll take just a little bit more. But this is how you do it right and tight every time. Heat the manifold, put the run a thread chaser down all the bolt holes. Make sure all the bolts are clean. These are the factory bolts. They're still in good shape. And I cleaned them up, lubricate them. And you know what? Then try all the bolts in all the holes that you can put them all in by hand. You're not forcing anything. Heat that manifold, get it in here, and get it on there. And now we know we have a positive connection because we resurfaced the manifold, and it was out quite a bit. It was wavy like Lake Ontario. And now it's nice and flat, but we have really good positive fit. Everywhere you look down here, it's nice and flat, and it is on there. And there you can see there's no gaps. We had gaps down at the ends here, didn't we, Skippy? They were big gaps. So now we got positive fit. Chances of a blowout gasket, not likely. Not likely. And this is an original manifold from the 97. This engine had aftermarket made in China offshore piece of something, and it was broken right here, right where I told you it will break, right here in the middle. Yeah, come in from the top, Skippy, right down in here. That manifold, when I took it off, this motor was split. It was in three pieces, the center and the two ends. And that manifold looked like brand spanking new, and this is the original from 1997. So we've been able to salvage that, and it's pretty heavy duty still. So we'll be in good shape. We'll do a nice exhaust system on here. So that leads us through one more step. We are getting really, really close. So next step will be, I will continue on with the paint work and paint the head and the other side of the block. We have the thermostat housing and thermostat to go in. Brand new water pump as well is going to go in. And then it's time to pluck it off the stand. We'll put the engine mounts on. They're all cleaned. All the goodies and accessory brackets, they're all cleaned and painted and packed away in toters underneath the Jeep. So it's just a matter of pull the toters out and build it. So by the time you see the next edition on this Jeep TJ 2.5 Power Tech, I think I hurt myself. When you see this motor next time, it's going to be unrecognizable. So stick around. Thanks for watching today. Don't forget to like, share, comment. Please put a comment in our videos and keep them friendly. And if you don't, I just don't read them anywhere. Anyway, I say no to drama. And the comments that have been coming through are just so wonderful and encouraging. So thank you very much for that, because that really helps the Google Analytics to push our videos out to more and more people. The other thing that helps is subscribing. Make sure that you are subscribed, because I've seen some people getting unsubscribed somehow, and I've heard that from some other YouTube channels. So just check to make sure you are still subscribed, and hit the notification bell. That's another indicator to Google Analytics that our videos need to go wider and further to more and more people. So thank you for doing that. Like us on Facebook, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and our YouTube channel, Niall Jenkins or Niall Motormouth Jenkins, will get you there, and we'll see you in the next one. So keep it under 100. Happy motoring, and put the coffee on, because we're coming to your house.